Graham, what's cracking? Sorry for my voice. I am fighting the crud. I managed not to get it for a week, and then my kids gave it to me. I saw this list on X. It's one of those lists that goes around and says, "Hey, have you read any of these classics? How many of them have you gotten to?" Let's go through the list. I'll tell you what mine are. Yes, I've read A Christmas Carol. I think that I read The Secret Garden when I was a kid. I've read Charlotte's Web and Peter Pan. I just read Anne of Green Gables this summer. I've started Last of the Mohicans, but have not finished it. Scarlet Letter, I had to read that for school. I've read Fahrenheit 451, probably due to read it again. Lord of the Flies, I read in 2009. To Kill a Mockingbird, I read for school. I'm not going to go in numerical order because I got to get these to fit the screen. The Prince, Il Principe by Niccolo Machiavelli. My brother's probably read that like 8 times. I have not. Utopia by Upton Sinclair? No. Candide. I have read Atlas Shrugged, number 54 on the list here. That would be a really good one to do a chapter by chapter breakdown of, because Ayn Rand has a lot of ideas in there that I agree with and want to expound upon. She's got a couple of ideas in there that I don't agree with and would want to debate. Others are worthy of discussion. I think her philosophy is actually worth elaborating on and enumerating what my issues with it are. Les Mis, I have read that one. I listened to the audiobook in the summer of 2013 when I was on a long haul. Haven't read any of those other ones there. I'll give you a full count at the end. Frankenstein, I read that last summer. Odyssey by Homer, nay. Pride and Prejudice, I read that this year. Beowulf, I have read. Brave New World. When did I read Brave New World? Geez, summer of 01, I read that one on my own. 84, I've read that one. Haven't read Jane Eyre. I've read The Art of War. It's surprisingly short and not as like full of life-changing wisdom as you might think. Great Gatsby, I had to read that for school. I've not read Monte Cristo. I've read The Phantom of the Opera. Wow. I wonder how Life of Pi made that list. It's much more recent. I've read East of Eden. That one was a gut punch. Lord of the Rings, obviously. Robinson Crusoe, geez, a long time ago I read that one. I tried Paradise Lost, but it was in audio, and my takeaway was that I needed to read that one in print. The Giver I've read, Screwtape Letters I've read, Dandelion Wine, of course, Animal Farm, yes. I don't think I've finished The Time Machine. The Metamorphosis, I read that one. Gross book. Sound of the Fury, Catcher in the Rye. That book sucks. That book sucks so bad. Call of the Wild, I think that I've read that one. I know I've read White Fang. I'm pretty sure I read Call of the Wild in the last couple of years. Treasure Island, I want to say I read that one a couple of years ago, and that's about it. So out of this list of 88, I have read 28. So I'm right under 30%. Well, thereabouts. I read about a third of these. Others, like I've got some interest in them. Others, absolutely none. I'm never going to read Catcher in the Rye again. I think maybe the count's 29. And I have zero interest in reading Handmaid's Tale. I think from Margaret Atwood, I read Oryx and Crake once, or at least I started to. I stopped at the YouTube's not going to like it if I say this. We'll say child crime scene material. Leave it at that. But I think lists like this are beneficial for you to look at and say, like, oh, I'm sure I would like to read some of these on here, and some of them are definitely worthy of discussion out of the ones that I read. Others I've heard of, and I can't say that I've been mightily impressed to get to them. Maybe I will at some point. But the thing about classics is that they are meant to contain or embody timeless qualities that are worthy of study and emulation and repetition. And I've found some of these on this list to be more of like a, hey, don't do this list of qualities and virtues. Others are like, yeah, this is a warning, or this is an example of somebody who endured through terrible things. This is an example of somebody who stuck to their principles despite terrible things. This is an example of heroism triumphing over evil. there are qualities worth examining, and it's not that these are childlike moral of the story type tales. These are complex, and they're meant to help you to think in a more complex way and to understand the value of different virtues as you read them. And plenty of them are worthy of discussion and analysis. Let me know how many you've read, and see you next time.